leaving together, and that's how you mix the Rocky into the final countdown. Anyway, hi, welcome to the Galactic Seabass Podcast. How you doing, y'all? My name is Sebastian Seabass Fowler. This is episode 9 of the Galactic Seabass Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. This is a special day. Today is June 26th. It is approximately, not even approximately, it's 4:57. So it's almost 5 on the west coast of America. Here in San Diego, the beautiful little town of Ocean Beach. My name is Sebastian. I'll be your host now forever and always. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode today. I have literally nothing planned. This will be 100% just as it has been many times in the past. We have special news. If you're watching this live and you're in San Diego, there is going to be a comedy show tonight. The Secret Truth Show at Wednesday Club here in Ocean Beach. So please come check it out. It starts at 7:30. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to do that with a couple of my friends, almost all of which have been on this podcast in the past. It's going to be really exciting again and do a real set. We recently hit 700 comedy sets, which is so crazy. Very happy for that. We did skip last week's episode. It was a very, very busy week and weekend, to put it at that. My little brother D'Artagnan got married. Congratulations to D'Artagnan. That's a plane going overhead. And this is a canned Baja Blast. So, big cheers to my little big brother. Congratulations, and I wish you happiness for forever and ever. Rock and roll. Oh, it's good. It's blue. I don't really need to know what's in it. I got a little bit on my laptop. It's going to be okay. Thanks for being here today live here in Ocean Beach. This cowboy hat you see on my head is a very cowboy hat. It was a gift from my friend Phil, who works over at Cute Bike. That's KYOOT bikes. They make BMX inspired touring bikes, so 20-inch bikes that you can do long distance with, and that's what my friend Chris Garcia rode on the first leg of my trip from San Diego to New York City on a BMX bike. So if you would like to go check that episode out, that is out right now on my YouTube channel. You can look up BMX America Part 1, San Diego to Phoenix. And right now we are currently working on Part 2. The timeline, I've been cutting a lot of footage and we're just about to pass the 5-hour mark, so I might need to make a second version of these, like a shorter amount of data. Try to do the whole thing in like an hour. So that people can actually sit down and watch it, because there's a lot of footage that's just kind of like super nitty gritty. And yeah, I'm doing my keep this YouTube thing rolling. It's all just me. So if you'd like to help support the podcast, there's plenty of links down below. That supports the whole channel in and of itself. I've been making videos for a long time, and I will continue to make them. Excuse me. Low view counts don't stop me from creating my content. And I think that should be the case for everybody. If you want to make something, don't worry about how many views it gets. Just keep making it. And either way, you'll get better. I read this book. It's called Art and Fear. And they had this great passage in it about how if you're a painter and you make 1,000 paintings and you think they're all bad or terrible, but on your 1,001st painting, you create something really cool. It took the mistakes you made in the last 1,000 paintings for you to be able to make that on the 1,001st try. So you have to just keep to it, stick to your guns. That's a plane going overhead. We cheers for planes. We're in San Diego. The number one reason that artists don't make it is because they metaphysically put down the paintbrush. Whatever their medium is, they just stop doing it. That's when you make it. So you have to, just believe in yourself and go for it and go for the gold. And I truly think that's like the only way to, to create like the highest form of art available within yourself to make. Does that make sense? I think that kind of like makes sense. I may be trying to like speak out of my butt a little bit, but you have to just keep going. And even if you get put down and like it doesn't do well, you just keep making something and keep making something, and But one day it might work, because your chances of having something work if you don't make any content are zero. So you just have to, you know, keep going with the flow on that one. Very, like, sometimes meticulous process to, like, you know, go and create stuff, whatever your medium is. You know, that's pretty much the case in all regards. You know, like right now I just saw this little kind of section of the video. I noticed that his phone and all the audio is like slightly too loud. So I'm just going to go and click all these clips and then make sure that it's at a volume that doesn't, you know, the TV household standard for most people. So I just have to go there, and since I clicked all of them at once, I can use this little tool. Like, you know, the more you use your tools and assets, then the more familiar they become to you, and it just creates like a little easier interface for you to go and create whatever art it is you like to create. And if you don't like to make art, you like to do math or whatever, just like whatever it is you like to do, just keep doing it, and eventually you'll get better. You know, that's how I did everything, from learning to guitar to making videos to traveling to taking care of a dog. You know, you just keep doing it, and eventually you kind of pick it up. But you can't give up. You have to believe and keep going. That's a huge, huge factor. I'm sure you're doing that. And I just realized my computer's running on like 500 megabytes of data right now. Free up space to continue. Oh boy. Yeah, we gotta run this, run that, but we can't quit Chrome. So we'll see what happens if we don't quit Chrome. There's like 2 gigs we're supposed to get rid of, but cleared up like 650. So if I clear, we got about a gig running through my browser software right now. And I'm doing it for you guys. Oh geez. Your system has run out of application memory. To avoid problems with your computer, please quit stuff. Okay, we got rid of that stuff. Maybe let's get rid of messages and notes. Quit those. And then clean my Mac. Get rid of that. Oh, I can't even resume. Like, get back and do stuff. How much data? It says there's 500 megabytes available. That is a very small amount of data though, so we gotta find something big. Otherwise I won't be able to hang on YouTube. Grr. Let's just go by size here. See what big boys we got lurking. We got this yellow door clip, that's a whole gig. Which one's the Joker one?
I noticed all these are a lot.
I still can't believe it just said completely.
Thanks, so nice.
There's probably some clips there. Oh man, I hate getting rid of data because I never know when I'm going to need it. This is not how I meant. But oh, cool. Wait. Now I have 5 gigs. Is that enough? I'm just gonna close this and see if I can just keep going. Seems like it's working pretty. Alright. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Sorry, this is how my brain works. You're watching ADHD live in action. It's pretty funny. Episode 99, I thought I'd do something kind of fun. Just me, some Mountain Dew, and a cowboy hat. That's pretty fun. But we do have a show tonight. I'm really excited about it. That'll be set number 702. We did American Comedy Company on Tuesday. That was super fun. Happy to be there. Happy to be able to hang out with my friends and, you know, do some jokes. And it's nice to be able to jump the jokes and try out the new stuff and see how it works. We got some giggles. We had them in the first half. We kind of lost them a little bit towards the end, but it was fun. Yeah, it's nice to just be able to test stuff out. So it's nice when it's comedy and then basically 2 truths and a lie. A lot of planes here. For those of you curious, I'm not wearing a Padre. This is a Tribal Seeds jersey, and the story behind this thing is actually really funny. It was a 420 event at the waterfront park here in San Diego, and all these reggae bands were going to play. So I opened up the shop. I opened up the stand for this dispensary that I worked at. I got there at 8:39. One of the first guys. So I was basically in charge of having people spin a wheel and they get free product. But it was all just free. And they had all kinds of really cool stuff. So there was somebody working at another vendor spot. I just gave them a whole bunch of really cool stuff. And a couple of these cool jersey things. So that cost $0. And it was a good memory. I liked that little job I got done pretty dirty. So that was fun. I was number one in this sales contest. And then instead of giving me like my prize, which was like a bunch of cash and a bunch of weed, they just let me go. It was like, he was late 3 weeks. I'm like, yeah, but can I have my prize before I go? And they're like, sorry, we don't give that to ex-employees. I'm like, man, I feel duped. So it's okay. Jobs come and go. Done just about everything from building houses, dishes, to being a CNA, to working with weed, to, delivering people. It's kind of fun. It's like the most humane human trafficking, where I just take humans and put them in traffic and then they get out of it. So that's been pretty much it. Yeah, it's been a crazy little week. I fixed my bicycle. I was able to put that together. Grateful for that. Another plane. Cheers. Decided to go with a Odyssey Hazard light front wheel, and then Odyssey tires in the front and the backs now. It's pretty blacked out except for the bars and the forks. They're silver with a whole bunch of rust, so it has this really cool, like, I don't know, textural layer to my bicycle. You can tell a whole bunch. And I realized I have a pedal wrench that for some reason doesn't fit my pedals. Like, I don't know if they changed pedal wrench sizes recently, but I couldn't get my pedals off. And I had these new ones I wanted to put on, so I'll have to go to the shop and take it. Okay, gotta ride my bike, another couple of days until I kind of break it in and then go to the front wheel. But yesterday I went for a bike ride. I had a great little session at the skate park. I was vibing. And then at the end of it, there's these picnic tables from the Robb Field skate park or the OB skate park on the way to the parking lot. And I usually jump a picnic table and then just roll off. They're like 3 feet tall or whatever. It's just a good practice, like, make sure I can still do that. So I jumped up, and I don't know, at the, like in between my shoulder, my collarbone, and my neck, like right here on the little side, I just felt it kind of like, and then, yeah, I had a really kind of like painful ride home, and it's gnarly. So I've been trying to ice pack it and take care of it, but yeah, my neck hurts super bad. So I guess I just bit off a little more than I could chew. I was really excited to get back to bike riding, and now I'm dealing with an injury. I didn't even fall. This is my first old man injury. Just for like riding the bike, I got hurt. I'm like, oh, this isn't. Oh man. So I need to get better care of my body and make sure I'm a little more prepped for these kinds of activities, and need to do more push-ups. I've definitely been a little bit stagnant since I got home. I did this crazy trip. I rode my bicycle from San Diego to New York City in 80 days, over 3,000 miles. Yes, that's a plane. Yes, I'm cheering. It's an incredible feat, and I'm really grateful that I was able to accomplish it, with my life intact and all my limbs. And I didn't get hurt. I was able to ride my bike and, get it done and have fun and be able to bomb hills. Never got hit by a car. Honestly, the closest I came to dying on that trip when I was riding, not just like the environmental surroundings, but when I was riding the bike, there was this one day, I think either Arkansas or Tennessee, and it was just the side of the road. You would never think anything twice about it. It was just like a pile of gravel, bro. Probably like 6 inches worth of gravel. And I thought, I could ride through, it's fine. And I got into it, dude, it went whoop, 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 and on the fourth one, this truck like zoomed on the left side, and then it went whoop, and it went so hard, I threw my foot down, completely ready like to face plant, and the gravel just shot me out into the road. And if that truck had come by too, would have been, elimination. And so that was super frightening. And gravel was pretty scary from there on out, bro. I'm not going to lie. Those little brought me closer to death than I ever would have thought. So, it was just one of those things. Had to learn how to overcome the environment, bro. Just keep riding and just know that every pedal I took, I was one step closer to New York City. It was terrifying at times and lonesome. I heard this really funny guy when I did comedy in Pittsburgh, the dude I went, he said, I hear a lot of people say they're lonely, but I feel like a lot of people are lonesome. At least I'm lonesome. A lonely guy will sit on Reddit and, eat nothing but Totino's pizza rolls and just, watch pirated movies. But a lonesome guy, he's like eating a can of beans above a fire in a barrel at a train yard station. And I was like, that would have been a lot. That would make me laugh. So yeah, just it was very lonesome out there. So it just feels good to be people and be able to hang out with my friends. And we got a comedy show tonight. I'm really excited about it. And they worked really hard. They booked this club. We're doing it all locally. It's all put together by us. So this is kind of like the birth of a new creation, the first of its kind. And I'm excited for all that is to come. I'll probably bring my camera out, shots done, because why not? I love taking photos. It's my thing. And excited. I don't know what I'm talking about. This is the 99th episode. You would think I have some kind of idea how to run this ship by now as the captain, but right now the captain's been drinking eggnog and Led Zeppelin. So, I don't know if that makes any sense. I really hope that worked in some way. Basically, I've just been, really busy and trying my best to get everything put together and follow up on all these endeavors and visions. I know that's a plane, but it takes a second to sip. I want to enjoy my Baja Blast. It takes a lot of work to be able to get all this stuff done. Creating all these YouTube videos, podcasts, doing the comedy, doing my job, taking care of my animals, cleaning the house, doing the laundry, blah, 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 blah. So I got to utilize the time as best I can. I'm really grateful for the people who come and tune and check this thing out. Of me just kind of rambling about the week, what's going on in my life, what's going on in San Diego, what's going on in comedy. We don't really know what we're going to talk about. Sometimes we have guests. And I had Austin and Wes here a little bit ago. You've seen them on a episode back. I think it was 96 or something. So they're going to be running that show, and I did have a couple other things I wanted to talk about. Typically, if you've been a fan, you know that we are a big fan of doing movie reviews. I love my movie reviews because I take cinema pretty seriously, and I'd love to be involved in the industry one day, or how. But once I get, my money, I'd love to get back on backstage and start applying for some roles, and, that is backstage, not back page, to clarify. I have never been back page. I don't pay for things in roses. Oh, man. So I would love to do that kind of work one day. I'd love to be able to be involved in any kind of, entertainment industry format, I love stand-up, and I love, improv and acting, and I think they're just such fun ways to pursue human, just to be able to be creative and fun and find a way to make a living off that, of making people giggle. That's the coolest thing in the whole world to me. So I tip my hat to everybody out there who's dedicated their life to the craft of making others giggle. Some people die in the name of it, and to have the freedom to be able to say what we say and make others laugh at our expense, it's kind of neat. So I'm grateful for comedy. I'm grateful for you guys. I'm grateful for this platform to be able to be just showering my thoughts on the internet, shouting into the ether of oblivion, and just hoping somebody picks up this transmission signal and sees me just kind of whatever. We've done a lot of things since I started this channel, What's really crazy is right before I started it, I went to Europe for 3 months. And then when I got home, that's when I started this YouTube channel. And I really wish I'd made videos while I was out there in Europe. There is one video on my channel, the lost tape. Just all the GoPro footage. There's no audio, though. It was before I kind of, knew what vlogs were. But I met a guy named who's making these videos called Where's Reese? And that kind of inspired the whole thing. So it's cool. It's we got somebody in the chat. Stu says, boom, boom, boom. Everybody say, wayo. Hell yeah. Right. Nice job. Nice job. Thanks, Stu. Alright, so let's jump into our little movie review section. And it's going to be more of a TV review this week because first off, I want to give a second congratulations in this episode to my younger brother D'Artagnan and his wife Emily. They tied the knot this Saturday in California in this beautiful grove, and I was so blessed to be invited. I got to share the experience with my little brother Czar and her family. And Max and my mom were not able to make it. I was very unfortunate, but they were there in spirit, and we love them very much. Grateful that I was able to be up there. So while I was up with my brother, I got to watch season 2. We started off season 2 of Squid Games, and you know, you'd like go outside and chill, but it was kind of nice just to hang with my little bro and like just watch TV for a while. So we got through about 5 episodes of that thing, and it was interesting how they started off the season versus last one. So basically, here's some. It's going to be spoilers for a little bit. If anybody wants to tune out. It's been out for a long time though. I don't know anything about season 3. All I know is season 3 did have a couple of you know, just like it's one of those trailers where you're like, you gave away way too much information. You gotta slow down your roll here, bud. Because I definitely saw number 4, 5, 6 going into the final room wearing his suit. Was that a flashback to the last? Is that what's going on this time? You're telling me this guy went in again and won again? Like, these were some ruthless individuals. And okay, so basically, let's go through season 2. Let's get a little recap. In fact, let's go to season 1. Season 1, you got this guy who's down pretty bad on his luck. And he ends up going into this game. Fast forward all the way to the end of it. He has to basically kill his best friend in a Squid Game. And he wins 5.6 billion won. I don't know how much money that is. So I'm assuming it's a lot of money. And he basically buys hell and he lives in it. And he dedicates every day and all the money he has to finding the people responsible for putting on this game. Meanwhile, at the end of season 1, you had this cop guy. He's been looking for his little brother, or his big brother. I forget exactly what it is. But he ends up going to the island, finding it, and when he finds out his brother is the front man. So, he's the man in the black mask who's like controlling everything. Because originally, it was the old guy. And the old guy stepped out to play until he decided to, you know, go back and just be super rich and elite and not have to suffer the same consequence as these other people. So, season 2, the brother cop guy is still looking for, but now he knows his brother is not a good person and he knows this island exists, but it's almost impossible to find based upon like this chain of islands and the captain he's working with, who at the end of the season you find out this captain basically works for the people, and he's been sabotaging the ability to even find this place from the very beginning. So, so we're going into season 3 with the captain. Basically, you know he's not a good person. You had the new front man step down and for a while until they basically tried to raid the paint guards during fight night. Which this time wasn't caused by a lack of food, it was caused by a division in the system where they made them have representative tags of which side they were going to vote for. So they had this big brawl, and I believe the season ended with, don't know how many people are left on either side. They haven't done a vote. And here's the thing where the trailer comes in and just kind of gives away a whole bunch of information. So you can clearly see they go into a room and there's a new game they have to play. Nobody looked at it. You all start thinking maybe we should have left when we had the chance. That would have been great. Instead, a lot of us are going to suffer a great consequence. They also show 4, 5, 6, you know, going into like the main room where you have this. And I believe in the first season, there were 3 people that were allowed to have that meal. So if I had to guess which people it's going to be, I want to say it's going to be, but I feel like one of the enemies might slip through. I think that old rich guy is going to be one of the first to go in season 3. The one who's just been yelling the whole time. It's a very unfortunate circumstance people have to go through. You know, they take very common items and turn them into very, like, ooh, it's kind of nasty. Like a fork. I saw a fork in a very demented fashion in that final episode. So I believe production is just so creative and cool. You know, that the building where they work is just so Escher-esque. It's like if Andy Warhol and MC Escher made a painting together. It's so colorful and bright with stairways there and just this elaborate labyrinth of a palace. And that's, you know, where they all go down. And then you got this whole story arc of what's going on, like behind the scenes words. You know, it's just it's like a crazy run. So I'm excited. Season 3, the finale, we'll find out if that's true or not, comes out on Friday. I'm very grateful that I jump back into the show. I haven't seen season 1 in a long time, but it stuck out. It's a very interesting program. The audio is crazy, the way that they'll take children's songs and make them so twisted, and you know, that angle was pretty nuts. I didn't really realize how the game worked until it started, and then I went, oh wow, that's super dastardly. You have to find your people in 30 seconds and find a room or you're out. And it's very twisted. So it's fun to watch. I like suspense thrillers. I kind of like the gory stuff sometimes. Still have to see Terrifier 3. I'm very excited for that. But that also brings up the fact that I saw a trailer for Sick Avenger. And I'm just curious if there's any other small actor besides Peter Dinklage in Hollywood. He has like this monopoly over any role of a small person. It just is like, okay, it's cool. I love it, don't get me wrong. I've seen Elf like 400 times. But there's gotta be people that are good at acting and are small sized. I'm just going to put that out there. I don't know if that's insensitive to Peter Dinklage only, but that's my take on the subject. And that also got me back into Black Mirror. So I guess Black Mirror dropped a new season 7. And I got through most of the episodes in one night. I was just kind of binge watching it. I ended up paying for Netflix. I guess they make a Netflix with ads now. There's just ads everywhere. I remember when Netflix was DVDs. They were competing with Blockbuster, and then they just shattered them. So basically, I went through a whole bunch of Black Mirror episodes. They were fun. I was really trying to find these twisty plot points, and they took me by surprise on a lot of them. That was kind of a whirlwind. I like the one where the AI intruded theirself into that dude's DNA. To where he was a throng, and then it just kind of infiltrated our whole system. And yeah, I would imagine like that's probably like something that they could do at a certain point once they learn how to like harness our like biological chemistry and engineering with their artificial engineering. It's that'd be the day Skynet goes live. Cool one about some lady getting a brain operation and basically like turning into a walking ad. You have to pay a subscription and have your brain work. It's like, oh no, that's gnarly. So much money. That's pretty heavy. It was cool. Definitely had some standout episodes. I swear that first episode, the pilot, is one of the gnarliest ones they'll ever put out. That was just so insane. I like the one with the fake bees too, and the hashtag death too. That was pretty crazy. I don't know. Great writers. Black Mirror's pretty dope. I could see myself finishing up that season tonight. Faux show. Jared said, good evening. Good evening, Jared. How are we tonight? It's 5:30 here in San Diego. I'm wearing a cowboy hat that I got on the day I got on Kill Tony, actually. The day that I got this book is the day I also received this hat from my buddy Phil. Let's see. That was crazy. So the night before, night 34, I almost got attacked by mountain lions on Highway 71 at marker 309. If you want to look that up on a map, just like that's I'll never forget that location. So the cops came and scattered out the area, kept me safe. I ended up throwing my bike in one cruiser, and then I got in the back of another cruiser. They drove like 3 or 4 miles to 7-Eleven in Kingsland, Texas. I got a sandwich and 2 tall boys, smashed them, slept behind a dumpster, woke up at 5 in the morning, put all my stuff together. I was on the road by 6. I rode 70 miles all the way to Austin, Texas. And then that night I got on Kill Tony. Here's the thing. I was 36 miles into and I got to this town called Spicewood. Now, the rack I was using previously was the seat post rack, and so that had fully compromised. The bolts were bent. It was literally a centimeter away from rubbing on my tire. So one bump, and it would kind of like stop it. You could feel it when you're going up hills or down hills, and it was super gnarly. And I just didn't think I was going to be able to make it all the way by the time I had to get there. I had 34 miles left. It was all hills, and I had this crazy compromised bag. So I called my buddy Phil over at Cute Bikes. He told me if I ever needed help, I could give him a call when I was in Texas. Gave him a call. Said, yo, dude, I'm 30 minutes from Austin. Is there any way that you could possibly come out and, help me with this situation? Maybe you could take the bag on the back and take my backpack, and then I'll be super light. And he's like, yeah, dude, no problem. So he drives to the gas station, takes the bag on the back, takes the backpack, and he said, okay, let me have the rack now. It's broken. I made it here. It has to go to Austin. Even that's stupid. So this guy, he's like, okay, how can I convince Seabass to give me that broken rack? He said, tell you what, kid. If you take it off your bike right now, I will buy you a cowboy hat. And when I was in this kitchen, this place right here in Ocean Beach, I envisioned myself riding my bicycle through Texas in a cowboy hat. So without hesitation, I said, you got yourself a deal. Boom. And I regret nothing. So thank you, Phil. I ended up riding the last miles to Austin backwards on the 71, which at certain points in time was absolutely insanely hairy. It was so gnarly to get through some of those sections. But we did. We got all the way. Stopped by my buddy Jason's house. An amazing comedian lets me drop off my bike and take a shower. I get an Uber to the mothership. End up meeting John. Sign up for the show. Get some burgers. Get some beers. Get called for the show. Get on Kill Tony. Have maybe the greatest night of my life. So it was crazy 24 hours. And then John almost died. John literally almost died. Someone said, can I see your cat? Your mic is cutting in and out. Oof, that is a problem. I'm really sorry about that. We're doing what we can here. I'm hoping that maybe I'll just be louder and it gets better. Thanks for being here, everybody. This is 99 of the Galactic Seabass Podcast. We are here live in Ocean Beach, San Diego. So thanks for being here today. We got a comedy show tonight at 7:30 at Winston's. Make sure you're there for that. I'm going to be at West August 15th for adult camp, doing a comedy show with Rick Thorne. So that's absolutely nuts. If you can be there for that, I don't have a discount code, but go ahead and sign up. That would be so sick. Yeah, pretty much that's what's going on. I got a couple things I gotta do tonight. Maybe hang out with my dog. Do some Ubers. Maybe we'll just go hang out in Ocean Beach. I don't really know. But we're out here. So thanks for tuning in. I've got a lot of work to do on the new episode. Definitely got a lot of work to do on that one. So that'll be coming soon. Really hoping for, just like a nice, easy sit down whole thing, get it done. Hope not to miss any like major sections in it. When you edit videos, you put out the final product, and you realize that it's like, oh, I forgot to do this. Now you have to export a whole new one. It's just like a process. So once we get that, I'm assuming from San Diego all the way to New York City. So I might have to find a way to cut that down, maybe to like an hour sped up version, so you can kind of see just like the major crucial points. Don't have to go through all like the nitty gritty stuff, but there will be a super long form video available for those that are interested in seeing Journey in its entirety. So really appreciate you guys. Sorry about the mic if there's any problems. My bad. I will work on that setup. But I appreciate you for tuning in. It really means a lot. I don't really know how much longer we'll be going today. And I don't have a rating for Squid Games yet. We're going to give it a rating when the show's finally over. I love the show. Like, if I had to, I'd give it like a 9. It's pretty fun to watch. And it's just kind of like Black Mirror. They're really all over the place. A lot of the episodes are really just I can't. They're too different. So yeah, I'd have to rate them individually. Squid Games is more like an entirety thing. I asked. It's so fun. There's all these like it's just cool to see like a different genre of human being. It's neat. I like it. It's there's a lot of people there complaining about diversity. It's like, yeah, and it's a great show. I don't care. I just care that they're good actors and care about who they play and what they portray. So, yeah, like, who gives a fuck what your skin looks like? Just be your job. And make a cool story that's new and interesting. There's so many reboots. Everything's a reboot. Like, 95% of the films that have come out in the last 3 years are reboots of 70s movies. It's like, can anybody come up with an original concept? I think it just blows my mind how unoriginal Hollywood can be when you have all the resources in the world. Like, just make a new film and promote it. Just all these tanking reboots that never needed to be made. Blows my mind. So that's just it's not really like my deal. It's not my money. But speaking of money, I am still trying to get bikes for kids. So that is going pretty good. We're saving up that cash and we're going to be able to get those bikes going here pretty soon. There's a link in my bio to go check out the GoFundMe, or you can check out the information down below in the description. Several other ways to support the channel as well, also in the description. It goes to me personally. Help me get burgers and eat french fries and stay afloat, and just appreciate your support. We don't have any like big sponsors. This is all just run by your boy Bass, 100% powered by Seabass. I really appreciate you guys too. I couldn't do it without you. Well, I guess I could, but it's much better to do it with you. So thanks for being here. It means a lot. And yeah, I'm Seabass. I don't really have too much more to say. Kind of want to like take advantage of this beautiful day. Maybe go and just play around and take my DOG to the BEACH. I got a spell around him like a toddler. It's kind of cute. I love my dude. Excuse me. I was going to say happy birthday, but it beat me to it. Yeah, man, this is crazy. 40 minutes into episode 99. 99 times I've sat down in front of the phone and just rambled about my thoughts, and sometimes I just don't want to say thanks for being here. That's so cool. Oh, man, I got a podcast with almost 100 episodes. I've been using a hashtag show and then the number of the episode for a long time. And at first, it was like I was a James Bond agent, like 002, 003, 007. And then it was, 017, like bad Blink-182 cover band. And then now, next Thursday, it's going to be the first time we use that big digit in my little podcast name. Oh, gee, Willikers, Batman. Oh, man. I don't even know what that means. I'm just excited. I'm really excited. I have to read this comment. Do you have a tussle on the monkey bars? Or is that just a bunch of conjecture from the Beltway? Bro, I don't know what that means at all. Thank you. Anyway, we are here. We're about to go do live comedy in front of an audience. The show is going to be 2 truths and a lie. So I wrote my truth. I can't think of a good lie. So if you can think of a good lie for my BMX tour, drop that in the comments. That'd be sick. And yeah, dude, I tweaked my neck super gnarly yesterday, so I can barely look to the side, but it's slowly getting better, and thank goodness for ice packs. Very grateful for that moral support of my friends. Happy to go have the opportunity to make people laugh tonight. That should be really fun, hang out with my buddies, and it should be a good time. And we got some really cool stuff coming up here here, so stay tuned. BMX Across America Part 2 will be dropping soon, so stay tuned for that. It will be several hours long, so you may have to chunk it out. And that'll be an interesting time. I was hoping that the Part 1 would do like 1 million views or whatever, and it's sitting right now at just under 300. I'm grateful for every one of those views, but that was just not how I planned things to be. My dad always best prepared for the worst. So, yeah, sometimes you just gotta go with the flow. I'm still glad I went and made that video. And, you know, now, like I said, it's on to the next project. If something doesn't work, don't let it stop you from creating more stuff. Just keep going. Don't hold back. And don't put down that paintbrush, whatever that means to you. You know? Yes, I ride a BMX bike. I ride all kinds of bikes. I had an e-bike, but it got stolen while I was in the shower. Right up on the other side at about 2 p.m. All my neighbors were home in the middle of the day, and it was locked. He brought bolt cutters. That dude had a plan. That was a premeditated bike theft, and I do not like whoever the individual was. I don't know them, but God knows them, and karma does not forget. I forget the line. Lil Wayne said something about karma in a Millie. Anyway, I appreciate you guys so much. It's good to be here. Worth it. Anyway, I'm Seabass. I don't really know what I'm doing, but here's the good news. I have lots of other videos available on my channel. Did you know that? I got about, I don't know, 600 videos or something. Check out my YouTube channel. It's pretty fun. And I'm really glad that you guys are here today. Tuning in for episode 99. A very monumental day for me because I just am so grateful that I, kept to it. I've said this so many times on the podcast, but this is a true fact. 90% of podcasts from their origin episode don't go past episode 3. So that means 90% of podcasts that get started don't make it past the 3rd episode. And then from there you have 10% of those podcasts left, right? And out of 90% of those, how many was it again? Oh, my numbers got all crunched. Hold on. Remember, yes, out of 90% of those, 90% of those podcasts don't make it past episode 21. There we go. That's the statistic. Thanks, Freddie. Thanks for bringing my keys. So to be on episode 99 means that we are not only in the 1 percentile, but we beat that by 78 episodes, I believe. Thank you very much, Justin. Appreciate you. Justin came in. He was the man. He was my dog and my cat while I was at my brother's wedding. Thank you very much, brother. Yeah. Oh, you're the man. Oh, man, my dog is excited to go enjoy the festivities of the day that the Lord has created and gifted to us. So grateful. That is so cool. Episode 136, 136 weeks in a row. Nice job, dude. Keep it up. That is so sick. Yeah, we definitely skipped out on a few weeks here and there. It was, whether I was under the weather, or depressed, or lazy, or just, super beyond delighted that I was so in the moment, I just didn't feel like it. It's good to be able to, have something kind of consistent in my life, but going, I'm grateful. So I want to get some more cool guests and lock down some fun episodes, and hang out with you guys, enjoy the day, and have more planes fly over, and drink more Baja Blast. This is pretty cool. Baja Blast in a can. Got a little taco logo there. Pretty cool. And, yeah, man, that's basically it. This is a crazy podcast where I ramble. And we did a good amount of rambling today. The U.S. did a little bit of rambling. We went to Iran by the flock of seagulls. So, that's pretty crazy. Hope everything's good. Hope everybody's safe and having fun. I just hope both teams are having a good time. Really, no, I don't know enough about politics to get involved in that at all. I think we should probably stop having wars as human beings. I feel like we've evolved so much technologically. There's no need for us to keep being so barbaric and blow each other up. It's just dumb. We have AI. Just like go to the moon. Let's go to Mars. Let's go to Venus and explore the solar system. Work together and end poverty and work on real world solutions to, you know, bring humanity together and like higher up and finally be able to join the Galactic Alliance. That sounds pretty sick. We should stop fighting each other. That sounds pretty logical to me. But and then again, I don't work for Halliburton. So gotta sell those bullets. Someone's gotta buy them. Such a crazy concept. Yeah, I think lobbying should be illegal. That's my take on the subject. In funnier news, we have a comedy show tonight. So going to content for that, going to get my set all put together, and I'm excited to tell some jokes in front of some human beings. I'm wearing a cowboy hat. I haven't worn this cowboy hat and done comedy since my set at Narbar in Austin, Texas, which is owned by Corey. He helped me with my backflips back when I was 19 at the Resi at Woodward West, which I'll be returning to August 15th with Rick Thorne and friends. That's going to be a crazy show. I'm really excited. Please tune in. You guys rock. God bless you. You know what? It's so nice out. I'm ready to go out there and enjoy the world. And I just want to say thank you so much for supporting me in this podcast and what we do over here. I'm Seabass. And I really hope that your day is as rocking and rolling as mine. I love my family. I love my mom and my dad and my little brothers. I love you guys, my friends, and the people who support me and the adventures that we go on together through my camera and my feet. You know, over my animals, my dog and my cat and my home. And, you know, I'm ready to get a new job. I'm grateful for the job I have now. Get a better one. Get my life more put together so I can travel more and do comedy in more places. And, you know, just put the pieces of my life in a row and get all these ducks singing. Join the... I was going to say choir with a quack, and then I was like, I don't know if that's the right thing to say. But I don't want to ruin this little sentimental spiel I'm on right now. So I just want to say thank you very much for being here today, and I love you. I'm Seabass. My real name is Sebastian. And this is a podcast where I basically let loose. And that's going to probably do it. If you have anything you'd like to hear about next week, drop it in the comments or send me an email. If you have any advice or some crazy stories you want to talk about, please send me an email at galacticseabass@gmail.com. A lot. Check out my Instagram at seabassjokes. Same thing that's my TikTok as well. I don't really know how to TikTok, but I'm trying to stay in touch with the youth. So we're putting stuff up there. I've got this this podcast. We do it every Thursday. This was episode 9. Splendid. Spectacular. Serendipity. Yes, that is a photo of Tony Hawk above my shoulder. Right here. Kind of cool. I'm ready to go do this little action-packed comedy show right now. So I got to mentally prep. Probably go down to the beach for a second with my dog. And in the meantime, wish you all the best. Best of luck in all your endeavors. Thanks for being, you know, my friends and tuning into this crazy ramble. There's more to come. What happened to VMX videos? I am working on them. Episode 1 is out now. Thanks for being here, everybody. I'm Seabass. Please check out the other videos available on my channel. Please reach out to me on social if you want to say what's up. We got a lot of content out there, so just, you know, let's rock and roll. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. So we're on our way out. We're pushing that boulder. And we're almost past the tutorial. And I want to say thank you, cowboys and cowgirls, for tuning in to this episode. Yeehaw. Excuse me. God bless America. God bless you and me and the ever so shiny sea. Today's a good day. I'm grateful to be a human being and be alive and have breath in my lungs and not held over by a semi while I was riding my bike to New York City, San Diego, which took 80 days. Videos coming soon. Got a lot of photos to go through. Maybe a photo book coming soon. Got a lot of creative stuff on the way. Just got to figure out how to get my ducks in a row. So thank you so much for your support. Every little bit helps. Options to support down in the description. Thanks for being here, everybody. Make sure you hit those YouTube buttons. I'm Seabass. Thanks for being here on episode 99 of the Galactic Seabass. Very grateful for you. Grateful for a lot of things. And this episode is definitely one of them. Next time I see you will be episode 100. The Centennial. Let's do this thing. Rock and roll. I'm so grateful to see you guys the next time we end up jamming this banana. So let's do it. And until then, have fun. Keep doing those things that push you to be the best version that you can be, and believe in yourself, and just whatever it is that you're going for with all your heart, and nothing can hold you back. I love you guys. I'm Seabass. My real name's Sebastian. And I hope you have a great day, great week, great year, great life in all your endeavors as always. And with that being said, thank you so much. I'll see you for episode 100. Cheers. Rock and roll. End transmission.